Forgot this part again. Today I use Atlantis Deep from Elysian Soaps, and I talk about the SS Daniel J. Morrell, the precursor to the Edmund Fitzgerald. Stay tuned. How's it going? John Bonham here, Cape Cod wet shaving, history shave time. I apologize for the late upload today. Very busy few days for me. I'm just happy I got to do this at all. Let me cycle through everything. Coffee of the day was caramel me crazy. That's cute. Surprisingly good caramel coffee. Teetering a little towards the fake taste, but not as bad as I thought it would be. Pretty nice. I think it's unlimited. Nope. Who cares? Pretty yummy. So, it's actually about 7 p.m. here. So, it is Thursday still while I'm filming this. So, this will be uploaded this evening, obviously later. So, thank you everyone if you're watching this right now, especially this late on a Thursday evening. So, today I'm going to be using Atlantis Deep from Elysian Soaps. How you doing, Shannon? Speaking of busy, that lady's been all over the place, doing all kinds of stuff. So great talking to you. I just talked to you earlier today, albeit briefly. So I haven't really used a lot of her stuff lately. I don't think I've used it on, have I used anything on camera? I know I did sticks. I can't remember. Anyway, so I'm doing that. Atlantis Deep and pre-shave oil. Already have it on. Natural pre-shave oil from Subtle Art Soap. Hello, Joe. And I got the matching splash with that. Of course, the balm, because I use both. And I've noticed with Shannon's stuff that I've been getting the quadfecta, not the trifecta, the four-piece set, including the EDP. I always get her EDPs. They're fantastic. I love the bottles, and she outdid herself with this one. So, well done, Shannon. Using Astra Blues, because they match, but also I've been getting into these. I'm a huge fan of the greens. I never really use the blues, so I'm getting into those. And I'm using my Aylesworth Coppercont. How you doing, Caleb? On the off chance you see this. So, that's what I'm using. And I got my blue and gold Rodak bowl. Not to toot my own horn, but I am very happy with my shave of the day photo I did today. Seems to be a big hit. Everything matches, very beautiful. And of course, I got to use my Cape Cod brush made for me by Cody at True Till Death Shaves. How you doing, Cody? Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. I'm watching you right now. Don't look out the window. Somehow made it to Oklahoma. Anyway, that's really weird. Today's topic is about the SS Daniel J. Morrell, okay? And I called it before the Edmund Fitzgerald. I wanted to call it something longer, but I'm limited in space for the title of the video. So really, this was a precursor to really an identical situation that happened to the Edmund Fitzgerald. When did it happen? 74, I think, 75? 8 years later. I think it's 74, the Mighty Fitz sank. Sorry. So it's really kind of crazy that this happened and is lesser known than the Edmund Fitzgerald. The Edmund Fitzgerald was bigger, I guess more widely known. It was, I don't know, the biggest on the Great Lakes at the time. It's kind of the Great Lakes Titanic, the Edmund Fitzgerald. But this one is lesser known. You might know it, but odds are pretty good you will not. So let me list off the scent notes on this. It's Yuzu, Anise, Coriander, Eucalyptus, ginger, pink pepper, rose absolute, Cassis, C-A-S-S-I-S, Cassis. I'm just going to say Cassis. I looked it up. It's a fruity, kind of floral scent. It really ties together other florals, such as Lily of the Valley, which is in this. Blue Marine Oyster Shell. Very interesting. I have no idea how that can be obtained. Vetiver, Smoke, and Ambergris. Okay. The faintest amount of smoke. So if you've never tried Elysian Soaps, Shannon's the owner and the chemist and genius behind this stuff. She makes absolutely fantastic stuff. She does her research. She makes everything from the ground up completely. And this is easily one of my favorites. El Dorado is another one that's really good. And her balms are just mwah, so I'm very happy to be using one on camera. And let's go ahead and get shaving, everyone. Haven't used this yet. I was saving this specifically to use on camera. Oh, that's good. So, where was I? Sorry, I'm tired. Been a long couple of days. So, the Daniel J. Morrell was a Great Lakes freighter. Measured 603 feet long. She sank on November 29th, 1966. The Edmund Fitzgerald was larger. The Edmund Fitzgerald, it was 758 feet, I think. I'm probably way off, but beautiful brush, man. Look at that. But big freighter. She and others like her usually carried bulk cargoes like iron ore. Again, the Edmund Fitzgerald was carrying iron ore pellets when she sank. However, she was using only ballast when she sank. So ballast, for those who don't know, so if a ship is laden heavy, riding low in the water, as we say, with something, and then all of a sudden she dumps it off, as she will do, because she's a freighter, and she's riding higher, she will handle like a completely different vessel in the water. Okay? So you have what are called ballast tanks. And these just fill with seawater. So it's really almost the ship literally purposely halfway sinking itself to get her to ride low in the water and handle better. That's all it is. So she had already delivered and was using ballast. So she was named for a U.S. representative from Pennsylvania and coincidentally the manager of Cambria Iron Co., which were her operators at that time. And she was built, get this, in 1906. Okay. There's a pretty impressive photo here. This is right after she was launched. These are the shipbuilders with her in the backdrop there. So, pretty cool photo. I had no idea that she was that old. And I had no idea that they could build freighters that big and that kind of modern looking that long ago. So that's pretty sick. And for those who can't see, this lather just blows up. It's really nice. I think my son just went to bed. All right. All right, so she was the longest ship on the Great Lakes at the time and was one of many ships to be given the moniker Queen of the Lakes. Queen of the Lakes has been given a title given to ships since the 1800s, really the kind of the mid-1800s. And not just in America, over in Europe, lots of places. Be a fact, I might be wrong, but I do believe that was one of the, again, Edmund Fitzgerald's nicknames when she was sailing. Well, I know she was called the Mighty Fitz, but I think she was also called Queen of the Lakes at the time. There's also a Coast Guard cutter, a Great Lakes Coast Guard cutter. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh my gosh, I'm going to kick myself for this one. I think it starts with an M. That was well known in the Great Lakes and patrolled the Great Lakes and was also known as the Queen of the Lakes. So there are several vessels that had that nickname. I know I'm going to kick myself. Coasty's watching. Let me know in the comments what the name of that cutter was. Not the Hawthorne. Damn it, I can't remember. Anyway, unimportant. So the Daniel J. Morrell bears many haunting similarities to her larger cousin, the SS Edmund Fitzgerald. Both held crews of 29. Both encountered heavy storms in November, and both foundered and then split in half before they sank. But the two key differences between the Mighty Fitz and the Morrell had one survivor Edmund Fitzgerald, no. All hands went down with the Fitzgerald. And as you'll see, the other thing that happened with the Morrell. Like the Edmund Fitzgerald as well, she attempted one last run of the season. She would eventually encounter a terrible storm, and the Great Lakes sailors called these storms the Witches of November, just like the Gordon Lightfoot song. The gales of November, the witches of November. The storms were called the Witches of November because they came out of nowhere. And November was when they were especially vicious. The Great Lakes were once called the Sea of Sweet Water. And they're so large that they have ocean currents and they have ocean type weather in them. So keep that in mind. The storm created swells 20 to 25 feet high, also, which is the equivalent of 6.1 to 7.6 meters. And they topped the ship. So the main deck of the ship, they were just washing over this ship, okay? Winds blew in excess of 70 miles per hour or 110 kilometers per hour, which are hurricane force. So this was not a little rainstorm. This was a bad storm. All right. So on November 29th, 1966, sometime around 12:30 a.m., the Daniel J. Morrell was attempting to reach shelter from the storm. So she was trying to warrant the storm. And I'm kicking myself now at this part coming up because I should have worn my old Coast Guard t-shirt. And my son's sleeping now, so I can't run and go get it to show you. I should wish I thought of this before instead of carnage. I was in a hurry to get the video, so I wasn't really thinking of a shirt to wear. I even do think of a shirt to wear. Usually I'll wear a shave brand or something that I want to wear. Just maybe it'll get someone's attention who's watching the video. There's the lather, by the way. I didn't even see or show you guys, sorry. Between what's on my face and what's in the bowl. Look at all that. Beautiful lather. Good gravy. Oh, dude, the knot on this brush is insane. I thought it was silver tip at first. It's not. I'm pretty sure it's 2-band. But this is just a thick, wonderful knot. Let me finish the history shave and I'll start getting into personal stuff. I got a couple of things I want to talk about. This brush is one of them. I named this brush. And coincidentally, anyway, so she was attempting to reach shelter. Okay, she had realized, like, okay, I'm done. We can't make this. And she was on her way to get shelter. And she was on Lake Huron, by the way. She was headed to Thunder Bay in Lake Huron. Thunder Bay is the name of the cutter I was on in the Coast Guard. Okay, that's why I'm kicking myself, because I still have a Thunder Bay t-shirt that I wore when I was still active duty. Our blue uniforms that you see maybe in movies or on the news if a coastie's talking to someone. Those are called ODUs, Operational Dress Uniform. And I usually wore my Thunder Bay. We wear a t-shirt underneath the blouse. Is what they call the shirt. I don't know why they can't just call it a shirt. It's called a blouse. And I wore that shirt under it. Sorry. TMI. OPSEC. So around 2 a.m. the ship was already doomed. It was done. The crew was forced topside and many would begin jumping overboard into the water, which was 34 degrees. Didn't stand a chance in hell. Candle's chance in a hurricane. What had happened, and I didn't write this, but I do remember, is they were just plowing along, trying to get through the swells. And the helmsman and the watch I believe the captain, yeah, the captain was up on the bridge. He didn't go hit the rack, nothing. He wanted to be up there. And they heard a loud bang and then this steady just rumble. And the guy on watch, not the watchman, one of the quartermaster, I forget what he was, but he turned and looked and he saw the stern just sag. And then the ship the captain saw it too and just hit the alarm and immediately ordered abandon ship. So it happened quick. So at 2:15, I hope I didn't miss a picture. I did. Okay. So that's all right. I'll put it over my face. I do that when I miss a. Screw it. I'll do it now. So when I was talking about comparison between the two, I was supposed to do this comparison photo. I was distracted. So that's the Morrell and the Fitzgerald. Okay, it's a comparison. Very similar, huh? The Edmund Fitzgerald was built in the 50s. That's crazy how, that's what I mean. They're similar looking. So at 2:15 a.m., she broke in half. Remaining crew was on the bow and loaded into a raft. While drifting along the bow section, all right, one of the crew spotted a ship off their port bow. Okay. There's a drawing. This is from the book that the Sole Survivor put out. That's what she looked like, according to him. One of them in the raft looked over and was like, "Hey, there's a ship." Well, it wasn't a ship. Incredibly, it was the stern piece. It was still sailing under power from the engines and was even still lit. All right. As it sailed from view into the dark, the bow sank and overturned the raft. So there's a painting of the stern still sailing with the bow up there in front of it. Imagine that. That would be terrifying. Terrifying. I don't need any more soap. Let me put the cap on. And it gets crazier. So, the cap on, the lid on the jar. There was no distress signal. There was no time. When she split, the cable for communications split along with the ship. There's my toothbrush. So there's no time. To put out a communication. And this is a third use for this Astra. Wow. That was like cake icing. Did you see that? I haven't even gotten shaven. I'm almost done with the history shave. That's all right. So the wire was used, had snapped. She was not reported missing until 12:30 the next afternoon, the following day, when she was supposed to pull in and report. Okay. All told, the sole survivor of the sinking, the ordeal was about 40 hours long for him. Sad thing is, one of the crew that perished was actually a survivor of a ship that sank in 1953. That's a story for another time, but that's crazy. At 1600, a Coast Guard helicopter located the sole survivor of the sinking, 26-year-old Dennis Hale. He had drifted in a raft with the bodies of 3 of his crewmen, and one by one they had all died, one at a time, in front of him, of exposure. And this is the actual photo. That's Hale in that little raft. And that's the helo that came to rescue him. But that's a real photograph. I'm assuming from another helo that was there searching. Be a fact, that's the photo they used in the newspaper article about the sinking. He had survived for 14 hours. And he had been below decks sleeping when the abandoned ship alarm was sounded. So he was in only boxers, a pea coat, and a life vest, excuse me. In November, on the Great Lakes, on the open water in a storm. The wind chill had to be below zero. Easy. Nick myself there somehow. That's weird. So he was forced to have over a dozen surgeries after the experience. So he was pretty close to death, I'd say. That's crazy. There we go. Look at that lather, guys. I love the second pass lather because it has a time to sit there and age like a fine wine. And it just matures and turns into this. Not to mention this knot is just banging, man. Bangarang. For those as old as myself. Name that movie. Bangarang! Hey, there's a pirate in that movie, so fits. All right. The wreck was found in around 220 feet of water for both sides, both halves. The two sections are about 5 miles or 8 kilometers apart, and a clock located on the stern had stopped at 3:28, meaning the stern had sailed. After post-split, had kept going for an hour and a half. Half of a ship kept going before it sank for an hour and a half. This is a photo of divers going down to the wreck, and that's a photo of the galley today. And there's still, I don't know if it's in the photo, I think there is. You can see the stern settled to the bottom so gently that there's still plates and bowls stacked up on the shelves of the galley. So, unfortunately, 26 of the 28 who perished were found. 2 of them never were. To this day, they've never recovered their bodies, and they're not gonna. Dennis Hale passed away September 2nd, 2015 at the age of 75 due to cancer. There's a photo of Dennis holding the photo that they took of him being rescued. What gave me the idea for this history shave was I was actually watching a documentary on this on TV by sheer coincidence. It just happened to come on. And Dennis Hale, it was a dive team going to dive on the boat, the ship. And they had Dennis Hale with them. And what they did was they put a guideline. Once they found the wreck, they went down and attached a guideline directly to the wreck of the ship and brought it up to the ship, the boat, the dive boat. And Dennis Hale was able to hold this line that was attached to the boat, and it's the first physical attachment to the ship he had since he jumped off of it into that raft all those years ago. It was pretty neat. And so I made sure to write down the name of the ship and saved it. So this was a cool one for me. All right, so the scent on this soap is just really unbelievable. I can't believe I never got the first Atlantis. I don't know why I didn't. I think I meant to and I forgot. I forget when she released it. I need to talk to her and see if she still makes it, if it's a permanent one of her releases, or if it's just seasonal, or if it's just not coming back. That would suck, because I really like Atlantis Deep. I like that you can get the vetiver in it. That smoke, it's just a wisp. I wouldn't even call it that. It's not barely even there. I like it because it adds to it, but it's just barely there. I love pink pepper. That's one of the scents that Peter let me smell when I was in his lab, Ariana and Evans. It's very pleasant. So Lily of the Valley is interesting. I smell floral. That's the one that I mistook for rose in Peter's soap. Cathedral, I think it was. It was embarrassing, but I knew it was a floral, but I couldn't place it. So it seems to be a floral that you can fiddle with and it won't really overtake, which I like. Comes as it. And I have lilies of the valley growing in my yard right now. They're very prominent here. In fact, they grow everywhere. They overtake very quickly. You can plant them in a flower bed and they'll just, within 2 years, they're out past the border of the flower bed going into your yard. I like them, but they're just a pain in the ass to maintain and keep where you want them. 2 passes and a touch-up, and that's what I got left. Please try Elysian. She has one called Cherry Tobacco. I have it in the tin. That's when she first started. That's the first soap I ever got from her. I need to get the trifecta. I would highly recommend that one if you're a tobacco fan. If not, try El Dorado, which is sweet, very pleasant. But the only thing is, El Dorado for me, if you're a seasonal person, it'd be great for fall, winter. If you want something more summery, trust me, get pine and pepper. Oh my gosh, the name doesn't do it justice. Phil at Bricktown Grooming, hello Phil, ages ago was like, dude, you need to get it. And I never did. I don't know why. And when I got one of her other sets, she sent me a shampoo bar, pine and pepper shampoo bar, and I opened the box and was like, oh my God, what is that? It was pine and pepper. Get pine and pepper. Great for summer. Not to tell your business. All right, so I got to wrap this up. I'm approaching 30 minutes. I have for those who haven't seen, I'm going to be putting out some more teasers here shortly. Damn, that's not going to cut it. I got some hair right here I want to get rid of. A straight razor would be great for this. Call those plinkers. I'll take a straight razor and just take the tip and just blink, 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 get singular hairs. I wish I'd thought to grab one. There we go. All right. I have a collaboration I'm doing with Murphy and McNeil. Very blessed, man. I couldn't believe they asked me to do it. I'm going to be teasing stuff here for the next week at least, and then we'll announce everything. I have the set right now. Got it today. It is downstairs. I almost grabbed it. I was going to show you little teasers or something with a label, but I'll hold off on that. All I'm going to say is you guys will like it. It is a cologne scent. It is not a dupe. It is completely made up. Not an homage to anything, not supposed to smell like anything, not reminds me of anything. I'm sure it'll remind some of you frag heads out there of something, but for me, It's just a standalone scent that Lynn did a great job with it. And I want to say thank you to Bill. You won't see this, I'm sure, but maybe you will, for the opportunity to do this. It'll run a little longer, that's all right. So let me go ahead. I just did this for the post shave. Let me rinse off. I'm going to do post shave. 1 sec, okay? Interesting side note. I didn't write this down, but it's something that when I was doing research, I read. The Edmund Fitzgerald and the Daniel J. Morrell were not the only ships who sailed the Great Lakes and the Witches of November sank them. There were 2 other ones. So there's 4, at least, that split in half and sank during November. Freighters. By the way, it was brittle steel that was used before 1958, 68, no. It was a type of brittle steel that was used during the construction, I think 58. And when the temperature went down, i.e. freezing temperatures, it made the brittle steel very brittle, and it would just split and break like glass. And that'd be the death of the ship. So, lesson learned finally. It took 4 ships, unfortunately. So again, the collaboration, it's a topic very near and dear to me. There is a topic and a purpose behind it. I'm not going to go too far into it yet, but it's something that I'm very passionate about. And I'll tell you the whole story once it gets closer, but oh, there's Cody right now sending me messages. Yeah. So look out for it. I've already had a few people reach out and say they're just flat out getting it, which is extremely nice of you guys. Doug Lane, sorry to name drop, you were very excited. Just because it was me involved, which means a lot to me, man. Thank you. A few other people. Chad, thanks. I know I'm forgetting some people. Even Joe at Black Mountain, you've been really cool about it. Very interested in what was going on with it. Joe, be a fact, is the one that introduced me to Lynn and got the whole ball rolling on this. So thanks, Joe. I owe you, man. Oh, Joe's a great dude. Caton? Yeah, Joe Caton. Oh, someone's awake. Almost done. Hang in there, buddy. This will be a little longer. That's okay. I earned it. I didn't do one last... Oh, yeah, the Prorazzo shave last week. That was a lot of fun. Sheldon, very cool guy. A lot of what he does is in my backyard. Between New York City, which is about, I think like 5 hours, 5.5, 6, somewhere around there. 6-hour drive. Which isn't far. For me. I like driving. And he travels to Boston all the time. And Somerville is a town where there's a barber shop, a Prorazzo barber, master barber, owns a barber shop. And that's about 20 minutes from where my wife works, Somerville. So it's one thing about New England, everything's so crunched and close together. I should see some of the streets in Boston. You could tell that they were made for like cows and horses and buggies. They were never made for cars. And in order to fix the roads, you'd have to just completely demolish the infrastructure of the city to expand anything. So they just don't, because you'd be tearing down some centuries old buildings. Anyway, sorry. So thanks for y'all that supported me with that too, the Prorazzo thing. That was cool. That was a full circle moment for me, as I've said before. So, God, that balm's good. Oh, it just absorbs right up. Not greasy. Not at all. Look at that. Probably have some under my ring And the Coupe de Gracie. Hope y'all like this topic. Pretty cool. One other thing I'm going to say is that my mom will be coming to visit next week, somewhere 29th. So she'll be here about a week. My son is graduating, and I don't think I'll really be able, I mean, I could make some time to do some videos or something, but I mean, she's flying up here from Texas. I'm not going to do that. So, he doesn't want to go to bed. I think that's about it. Ooh, 35 minutes. All right, I'm pushing it. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Anyone who returned, it's you guys, first and foremost, that make me keep doing this. It is a lot of work. Glad I got this out, though. And, yep, till next time. Again, if y'all have any topics, Bradley, you're good at giving me topics, man. But if any of y'all have anything you want me to do a history shave about, let me know. And I'll look into it, all right? Till next time, everyone. Thank you. Happy spring while it lasts. Summer's right around the corner. Sheesh. And yeah, be safe. Be nice to one another. Most important of all, happy shaving. Till next time. See you later.